Hi, welcome. This is the Burlington School Board's Commissioner Corner. We meet each month here at CCTV. Thanks to shout out to CCTV for affording us this time. And we use this time to update our community, not just those that are enrolled in our pre-K to 12 public schools here in the city of Burlington, but to the greater community, those that live in the city of Burlington, and update you on investments that we make, not only through our students, faculty, and staff, but in our facilities. And today I'm thrilled to be here again, coming back to talk about our wonderfully special magnet school, the Integrated Arts Academy, formerly known as H.O. Wheeler, and the renovation that went through, that happened this past year. And I'm here with our owner's project manager, would you say? Or
yeah, clerk of the works as well. Yep.
Thank you. I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Tom Yendo with Capital PCI Consulting.
Yeah. And thank you so much, Tom. We met, I think it was maybe 8 months ago?
Yeah, it was late fall.
Yes. And so here we are back with the exciting news to share with you that we are almost at the finish line with our capital improvements to this incredibly wonderful elementary school here in the city of Burlington. And we thought it would be fun for you to walk us through your of late reports and photos to show the public a sneak peek on what our students and faculty and staff are coming back to actually today, this week of August, where we are at the 22nd, 21st, as we begin school next week. And we will be hosting a ribbon cutting ceremony next Tuesday for the community and the school as we welcome students and faculty and staff back. So we'll start off talking about where we were coming from the summer. A lot of things happened, and a big shout out first to our community for being displaced. We had all of our faculty, staff, and students down at St. Mark's and at Sarah Holbrook for the past year. I know a lot of effort went into that for families, students, faculty, and staff, and we set up an incredibly thriving community in both of those temporary spaces, and that couldn't have happened without our community's support. So thank you, and our faculty and staff and Principal Scheit, Maddie Scheit, for leading in such a healthy way in that year of transition for us. So thank you and welcome back. So we'll begin over the summer. I love what you did. Each week we, as a school board, we received updates from you from the project and the site, giving us a general report, work completed, and then photos. And I love that you did before and after photos. So let's walk through some of those, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure.
And we'll let the general public, the viewing public, see these photos. So we'll go to the laptop and we'll be able to walk through. So here, as we go down, sorry, I'll move this. And CCTV, you tell me how we move to laptop. Do I? Oh, perfect. Thank you. So we'll start here. This overall, we'll start from the basement and sort of move up.
Sure.
And we'll start with the before pictures.
Yes. There's where the walls were removed. This is down in the teacher's lounge. The walls just were not that up to par, so we removed the walls, removed the flooring.
Oh yeah, to make it level. I remember you saying that. And then here we are with it today.
Yes.
With sheetrock, flooring. Yep.
New paint.
New paint, countertop, and keeping the old existing windows. You see this depth of the windows from the stone.
Yes.
Down below.
Correct.
Amazing. And lighting. And then we'll move again,
Just
another area.
Office
Area, which now from the basement of the 1904 wing.
Yes.
Okay, and this is
the core.
We'll go to the before.
Yep, before is after the abatement of the walls, because we had found asbestos in the joint compound, and some of it was in the older sheetrock that was in this wing. So all of the sheetrock was removed, and so now we're down to the studs. The lights, there was some ceilings in the corridors, but there were none in the classrooms. So this is the before and this is the after. with new carpeting, sheetrock on, a new drop ceiling, new LED lighting.
Wow. And
So-
this is the Spring Street side of the building.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. This is wonderful. Thank you for explaining that. And I know that was something that was unforeseen with the
Yes.
abatement, but
Correct.
we were able to address it still in a timely manner, and take it down to the studs
Right.
is amazing.
Yes.
This is upstairs.
Upstairs
I know,
and
looking at
then
that arch window.
In the 1904 wing, the second level, they're prepping the floor to get it level for the new carpeting to go in.
Wow. This
This
is
is just a finished classroom with that the classroom materials are being put back into the classroom, waiting for the classroom teacher to come in and start organizing their classroom.
So you managed that as well. So all of the furniture that we removed from IAA that we kept, that was moved to St. Mark's, then we had hiring a crew of laborers that were actually bringing everything back from
Yes.
St. Mark's over the summer.
Correct.
So, and
Correct.
labeling and tagging, I know the teachers had to do a lot of that work as well, but thank you for moving everything.
Yes.
Now this is amazing. I think we'll start with the after.
Okay, so-
Because it is so magnificent. Do you want to explain where we are?
This is a classroom that's in the 1965 wing of this, I believe, is going to be the second grade. But this is now the newer windows. They put in a drop ceiling, new lights, obviously new drywall and new carpet.
And when we look at these windows, they were never here before. So looking out, was the view from the prior classroom.
Correct.
So we only had windows sort of a fourth of the way up in the ceiling. And like you said, the drop ceiling as well. But what an incredible improvement, just to see the daylight that streams in from the classroom is amazing. So I know that was one, on top of, all the other utilities and facilities from the HVAC and the geothermal for, sunlight, warmth, heating, air conditioning, the cooling system.
Right, adding insulation around all the old concrete columns and whatnot. All that is now gone and wrapped with insulation.
Wow, I love showing that before and after. Amazing. And then we'll move down to the basement. This was the old boiler room.
The old steam boilers that powered the heat for the building. They all came out. There was two of them, and now
I'll show you. And I just want to share, I know from the two steamers, and you said this brick wall, what in 1904, how did they heat this building?
Yeah, they heated it. It was still a steam boiler, but it was heated with, the steam boiler was fed with coal. So, right, correct. Behind that wall, we believe, was the coal storage room.
Intake room. Oh, unbelievable. We from the basement to the attic of this building, I loved hearing how it has lived through the years, and then now here we are with technology. This is what the basement looks like now.
This is the new heat pump that takes the water from the geothermal field that will either heat or cool the water medium for the building to either keep the building dehumidified or heat the building.
Over the course, unbelievable. And I remember at our original meeting when we were really pulling everything out of the building.
Yes.
And looking at the concrete slab that this very expensive system sits on, and the leveling of the floor.
Yeah.
Like you said, even on the second floor, like how do you level a 1904 building on the second floor? Because it's not concrete, it's wood,
Right.
and there's, the floor masting, or what is
Mastic.
it? Mastic.
Yes.
And how you fill in those areas for a number of reasons. But I remember thinking, starting from the ground up, we have to have that stability, and digging down to create this concrete slab was no small task.
Right.
And so for it to now have all the intricacies of this incredible machine, you have to do your job well,
Right. Correct.
and make sure that everything is working, as they say, on all cylinders. So major appreciation, and for the companies that all work together to facilitate this.
Yes.
This
And then And then that is the size of the new boiler that if we need supplemental heat, but that's the size, it's smaller than your home refrigerator now.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. And I know learning the intricacies of this with our facilities team and
Yeah.
all that, it will be, a year of education for sure, and,
Yes.
and specialty and on call. Look how small the boiler is. I remember looking at that as well. And then I know many students, I was, in my service over the last 8 years, we had multiple meetings about, we want to improve the playground. And we kept saying, wait, because we have renovations coming. And I know people were extremely patient. But here we are. We have a whole new playground system. I know that with the heat, currently, we are doing our best for seating in the grass fields and the soccer fields. But I know in your future reports, we're going to show some updates. But give us an overview of the whole area. We're sitting on top of all those geothermal wells.
Yes.
That's underneath. So
not only is the playground sitting on top of the geothermal wells, but also there's a couple of stormwater retention systems underneath there that are bigger than that trailer that's there. There's probably 6 of them the size of that trailer that all collect the rainwater when we've got a deluge of a rain system, and it collects the water and then disperses that back to the city storm system on a slower basis than what it was before, and takes all of that stormwater off from off from the pavement and puts it into the ground, and so that now in the winter time, if it freezes and whatnot, it's not a tripping hazard anymore.
Understood. And that pervious, I know all of our city people, city workers and environmentalists that have talked about that. And I know even as our own city, in the corner of Mr. Mike's and the stormwater, and what we're doing at the high school as well, the stormwater retention going back into the lake, an incredible improvement for not only just efficiency, but care and long-term care of the site as well, and safety. So thank you for explaining that. So this is an overview of the playground to date. Not to date, because I'll show you the updates that we have in the next month's update. And this is the kitchen. I know if we talked about this, this is one element of the project that our timeline based on professional and financial good acumen, we are going to be completing the kitchen in its focus layout, and ability to open that kitchen will be by roughly October 1st, but we have the way we've been operating at St. Mark's. We will have, with Laura's leadership, who's head of our food services, as well as Principal Scheit, food and lunch service for our students over the next month and a half. But that is one aspect of the project that we are still completing.
Yes, correct.
And we feel good about it.
Yes.
And the best part was that we were able to economize and at the same time, deliver that kitchen and that area, on budget, which was incredibly important to taxpayers as well.
Correct.
As the community. And that was one area that we still had a successful operating system that can continue through the month that we need more time for that. So here we are in the kitchen. Anything about the kitchen that you want to share? I know we had a lot of repairs over the last 5 years in the kitchen, from the grease trap to water main breaking to a myriad of things. And I know that was, something that was really important to the community to focus in on and improve.
Okay. So one of the bigger things now is that there's a bigger size grease trap that's code compliant to all of the kitchen equipment that's going to be in there. There's also now a code compliant exhaust hood that wasn't there before, but there was a hood, but it was too small. So we're putting in a bigger size hood with a makeup air system for the kitchen that's all now properly sized and whatnot. And Laura's really her staff that's going to be there is really going to like that. whole hood system.
Fantastic. All right, then we will move on to the next update, just to give you this. That was in early summer, and here we are moving into July, the end of July. Here is the, and I've passed by here like many people do, and seeing the improvements.
So new fencing that's going in to, again, protect the school during the winter time, so that if there's ice or whatnot that comes off from the roof, the fence keeps people away from the building for that ice. But again, with the energy improvements that we've done, there should be a lot less ice coming off from the roof.
Right, I know we insulated the entire attic, and this is similar to the fencing that we did at the historic Edmonds Middle School campus.
Yes.
That was preventative safety, and again has been a valuable asset to that campus as well. Thanks for explaining that to viewers. This is, I know, Gordon's window, and those were the windows that we showed you in that second grade classroom in the 1965 wing. And you can faintly see the new playground equipment out there that was installed. Next down, this is leading out to, is that Walnut?
That's yes, out to
Walnut.
Walnut. I believe what this room functions as 3 different rooms, as the cafeteria overflow, gym overflow, and at night the community room.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it got a whole new flooring system.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Yes, that is a multi-purpose room for sure. Thank you for explaining that. This is the old,
This is
a hallway.
Yeah, this is the corridor that goes from the cafeteria back into the 1904 wing.
Yes.
They're getting it ready to put down the carpet system.
Yep. And all the artwork as you enter that.
These are the walk-off mats at each of the exterior doors. This one just happens to be on the Walnut Street side.
And explain their function. I know their function, but to have it permanently in there. Is it?
So yes, it's glued down, but it's made, so that when the kids come in with their boots all wet, full of snow, they can stomp on it, and this material will be able to take that water
Absorb it.
and absorb it. Yes.
Yep. Versus the heavy rubber mats that always took 3 people to help us move,
Yes.
or
Correct.
that was always sort of at an angle that didn't.
Yeah.
So this is, again, for age group and for the many entrances in this building. So thank you for thinking of that. This is the carpeting.
Yes.
And we went through carpeting because it can be.
This is what the district is making as a standard. It's what we call the Flotex carpeting. So you can spill water on it and it bubbles on top of the carpet and won't go seep into the carpet. So it's easier to clean and all the remedies. And so
And it comes in squares? Or
it
is
comes
it
either in
replacement?
squares, or in this case it came like 12 inches wide by, I think it was 4 feet long.
Okay.
Yep, and then it gets
incredible.
glued down.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Next, as an overview of the carpet.
Just
how it
another
looks.
floor. Yep.
Yep.
And then this is the gym walk-off that goes out to Archibald Street.
Yes. And this one's a grading system, so that it has things go down. Goes down, so any spill off on the shoes.
Correct.
Thank you.
And here's where they dug the hole for the new grease trap to be installed in the kitchen.
Amazing. All right, and then we'll move on to the next update. Thank you for this photo essay. And that's our completed hallway.
Yes.
Going back down into the hallway on the main floor. Thank you. Amazing. This is the new flooring in the corridor of Walnut Street. Beautiful.
And then the brown that was at the school is now all covered in the brighter colors.
Wonderful.
I think the painter at one point told me that There's 9 different colors throughout the school.
Fantastic. That is stimulating for sure.
And then this is the workers getting ready to pour the new concrete floor back in the kitchen.
Amazing.
And then this is, at this point, Maddie had moved back into the building.
Over the summer,
Yes.
So Principal Scheidt's office is overlooking, I think that's the playground.
Yes.
The back of the school, right by the front entrance.
Yeah.
Thank you, Principal Scheidt, for all your work and leadership in this. And then, was that it? Did I do? Yep, that was that. And then I know financially, we'll be reviewing the finances. I just wanted to walk through with the public just to go over our costs associated. The excitement around this project started back in 2017. We took a capital plan. We gave the city a capital plan for people to vote on, and part of that capital plan money was earmarked for IAA. That also supplemented by ESSER funds from the federal government that we had to use. We were time bound to use that $10 million for the things that qualified for it, and in this case, all of our HVAC, air handling systems, and things that were critical to the well-being of this elementary school were approved for those funds. And so an overall project cost of $17 million was put forth, and we are on budget and on time here as we sit with, faculty. Today was the first day to move into the building, and we just can't say enough appreciation for, I'm just going to pull up a picture of IAA so that people can see, sorry, IAA Integrated Academy, what it looks like from the outside. Wait, maybe I'll backspace, I'll pull it up. Sorry, I had a picture. Sorry. There it is. And I just actually met with our city leader because across the street from IAA is a beautiful new sculpture that was installed in Dewey Park, and I know that students, along with the sign, the PTO had created that sign, and the former art teacher, Judy Kilma, had done that beautiful mosaic. And so for safety reasons, the entire campus has been, there is chain link fence around it with the necessary what do you call that, fabric around it to make sure that everything stays safe, and neighborhoods, because it is right in the middle of the neighborhood and right at all of those intersections. And so students are so excited to finally, be able to see those things come down, where the improvements of the beautiful sculpture, not improvements, but enhancements. And then you can get a look to see from the 1965 building, that was more visible because we didn't have fencing, because we had parking and access to the site from that Walnut Street location. But again, I can't thank you enough and taking us through. This is just a fraction of the overall scope of the project and the work that was done over the course of the last year.
It was, yes.
And I know that you shared your next update will be from where you sat for all those weeks and days and months at IAA as your completion of the project. And I can't thank you enough, Tom, for your leadership on this, along with Marty Spalding and PCI, and look forward to getting in there. The school board will be present at the ribbon cutting, as well as members of the community, and we'll invite everyone and anyone is invited. Is there anything else you want to share or thoughts about from where? Are you surprised we got it all done, or you got it all done?
No, I'm not surprised. You just have to work it, and we did work it, and we just have to stay on track, and we did stay on track.
Wonderful. Yes. And I know today you were at the school, or you shared, and there were some teachers. Any initial feedback from people?
Oh, the teachers are ecstatic of the colors and what it looks like, and yeah, they're great to be back.
And I
Yes.
know I talked to you before this interview, things that were essential to the school, and it's obviously the staff and faculty and Principal Scheit, what students were interested in. The playground will be open. The core, not jungle gym, but the physical structure is you'll be able to play with that on day
Yes,
one. And
correct.
the field, we might be holding it off for seating, just so that the long-term health of the field will be better than the short-term
Yes.
gain of having kids run on it.
Correct.
The dental office.
Dental
all
offices will be, in the next couple of weeks, we'll be going all back together.
wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you for that. And I know we talked about the cafeteria will be for an August 1st,
October.
October 1st start for warm cooked meals, but for the time being, we'll have meals ready for students as they start school next week. And the fencing we talked about, I'm trying to think, and the attic was fully insulated.
Yes.
And like you said, the safety and parking remains the same spaces.
You lost a few spaces, but not
Nothing.
right.
And I
nothing
know
major.
that we are, thanks to our faculty and staff who are creative in how they park and
Yes.
around that area, because I remember when people were, any of our schools that don't have technically large parking lots like SA, well, SA has a parking lot, but IAA and Edmonds, for people coming and going, it's the same. We kept the same footprint. We
Yeah.
didn't add parking.
Right.
So thank you for explaining that. And just a joy to be able to share in this excitement. We're very fortunate. Good leadership. Superintendent Flanagan, I can't thank him enough for his leadership in completing this project with all the like minds of people who wanted to invest in this building and help us out. And thank you to all the workers that worked on the building. Vermont, it was an active site for a year. And thank you to the community, as I shared at the beginning of the hour, for moving to St. Mark's and Sarah Holbrook and working with us so that we could bring you back this year to a much loved and newly renovated school.
Yes.
With good bones. So that's a
Yes.
good thing. Well,
Yep.
thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you on Tuesday for
Yes.
the ribbon cutting.
Yes.
So thank you so much.